Hey guys, today I'm going to show you the best way that you can build out a token system inside of your Webflow site. Here we go. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build your very own token system or credit system inside of your Webflow site. Now, we're going to be using a couple different tools in order to do this. Firstly, and most importantly, we're going to be using a tool called Memberstack, which essentially we're going to use to integrate with Webflow to give your Webflow site membership functionality. Think logins, signups, authorizations, stuff like that. All the really good meat and potatoes we need to turn our Webflow site into its very own membership site. Secondly, we're going to be using Make.com to kind of build out the back end of our token system, the automations, the infrastructure we need to add tokens and subtract tokens from the members of our membership site. And then thirdly, we're going to use Stripe to collect payments from the members who are purchasing tokens or credits on our site. And so by connecting all four of those apps together, Webflow, Memberstack, Make, and Stripe, we're going to be able to lay the foundation and build the infrastructure for a pretty robust token system in your Webflow site. Okay, now let me give you a sense of what we're building today. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be building out a website where people can come and buy tokens from you in exchange for generating blog posts. So we're going to have three different plans. We're going to have a bronze plan, a silver plan, and a gold plan. When I buy the bronze plan for 10 bucks, I'm going to get 20 credits. When I buy the silver plan for 20 bucks, I'm going to get 50 credits. And when I buy the gold plan for 30 bucks, I'm going to get 100 credits to make blog posts with. Okay. We're also going to build out a dashboard page, which is going to be kind of the home base of our token economy. What this is going to show us is always a live feed of the number of credits that we have. It's going to give us a place to buy more credits and add to that amount. And it's also going to give us a place where we can spend those credits and generate blog posts. Now, again, in this video, we're going to be generating blog posts, but you don't have to necessarily do blog posts. It's just the example for this video. We're going to build the backend in Make.com with these two different scenarios. This first scenario we're going to build is going to actually add credits based on whichever plan that the member signs up for. Okay, so we're going to add credits for the bronze plan, the silver plan, and the gold plan in this scenario. And then we're going to build a second scenario that essentially is going to spend those credits or keep the running total of those credits attached to each member, as well as generate the actual blog posts themselves and deliver that to the member. Okay, so that is the complex system we're going to be building in this video. Let me stop talking. Let's hop right into this thing. Here we go. Okay, so step number one is I want to give you a high-level layout of how I have this membership site set up, just so you have the contextual knowledge to understand what's going on in the rest of the video. All right, so we only have a couple pages here. We have our home token system page. Okay, this is essentially our landing page where you can come sign up, log in. You can see what the service is. And then you can actually buy tokens from this page. You can sign up and buy tokens. All right, so we're going to do $10 for 20 credits, $20 for 50 credits, and then $30 for 100 credits or 100 blog posts. Okay. And so that is our landing page. Next, I have a dashboard page. And this is really going to be the meat and potatoes. This is going to be the magic in this video. When you log in or when you sign up to our membership site, you are brought right here to your dashboard page. And you can see we're going to pull in the member's name dynamically in both of these spots. We're also going to dynamically pull in the amount of credits they currently have. We're going to give them links to go buy more credits, update their profile settings. And then we're also going to actually let them generate their blog posts from right here on the dashboard. Okay, so this is going to be the main page of our site. And you can see here that we're going to generate blog posts just by typing in your name, your email, the title of the blog post that you want to write, and then how many blog posts you want to write with that title. Again, you don't have to use this exact example of blog post generation for whatever site you're building, but this is going to get the point across quite nicely in this video, I think. Okay. And then we have just our generate blog post button right there. Okay. So that is the dashboard page. We then have a buy credits page where you can just go buy more credits if you want to create or generate more blog posts. We then have a success page, and this is where we're going to redirect the user when they successfully generate blog posts. Okay, more on this later. We also have an error page, which is exactly the opposite. When somebody doesn't have enough credits to generate their blog posts, we're going to bring them here. Okay, again, more on this later. And then last but not least, we have our profile settings page here where you can update your name, your profile picture, your email address, your password. You can check out your billing history, and then you can log out. Now, all of these input fields here, we have custom attributes on. I'm not going to go over that in this video. I have a bunch of videos that I've made in the past that will walk you through how to set up a basic membership site with the basic membership functionality. I'll have those linked up here right now for you to go check out. But I'm not going to go through them here. Just know that it's not that difficult to set up. Take you a couple minutes to figure out. All right. So that's how we have the website set up. Now let's get into actually building out the token system. All right. So step number 2 is I need to come into Memberstack. All right. And I need to come down to settings, install code, and I need to grab our actual Memberstack script that we're going to use to link Memberstack to Webflow. Okay. So I'm going to come to Webflow, custom code, and then I'm just going to drop in that Memberstack script right here in my head code field. All right. I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to go publish my website. All right. And now Webflow is linked with Memberstack, and we're good to go to step number 3. Okay. Now step number 3 is we actually need to come to Memberstack. We're going to come to plans, and we're going to build out the plans and the prices that we're going to use to basically distribute tokens on our website. Okay. So the first plan we're going to add is actually going to be a free plan. And I'll describe all this a little bit later. But we want to make a free plan, and it's going to be called something like has credits. All right. And essentially this is going to be the plan that we're going to add every member to when they have more than 0 credits. So if they have 1 credit or more, we're going to just automatically attach them to this has credits plan, because then later on in this video, we're going to do some conditional visibility if somebody has tokens or if they don't. Okay. So this will all make sense in a second. But this plan is just going to be when someone has any amount of tokens above 0. Okay. Again, it's a free plan. We're going to hit create plan, and that's that. Again, more on that later. Okay. Now remember, we have 3 different plans for our blog generating membership site. We have a bronze plan, a silver plan, and a gold plan. All right. And so what we need to do now is in Memberstack, we need to go actually add these plans and attach prices to each of them. So we're going to create a new plan. We're going to choose paid plan, and we're going to hit next. This is going to be our bronze plan, and this is going to give us 20 tokens. Okay, I'm going to hit create plan. And then from inside the bronze plan, I'm going to create a price. And this is going to be our bronze price. It's going to be a one-time payment. Again, this is not going to be like a monthly membership. It's just going to be, hey, I want to generate more blog posts. Let me go buy 20 more credits for $10. It'll be one-time piecemeal purchases. Okay, so one time, and it's going to cost us $10. I'm going to hit create price, and that's that. I'm going to make a second plan, a second paid plan. This is going to be our silver plan, and this is going to be, I think, for 50 tokens. We'll create plan. From inside our silver plan, create a price. I'm going to call it our silver price. Again, it's one time, and it's $20. So we'll create that. And then we'll add our last plan. Again, it's a paid plan. It's going to be our gold plan. This is going to be for 100 tokens. And we're going to give that one a price, one-time price of $30. We're going to hit create price. Okay, sweet. So now that our plans are set up, we just need to link these back to Webflow now. Okay, so back in Webflow, when I click these buttons, I want to make sure that we actually add the member to the correct plan. And to do that, we need to add a custom attribute to each of these buttons. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to come back to Memberstack. I'm going to go to my bronze plan here, and I'm going to come up here to install and publish. All right, and it launches this little window here where we can see our actual, like, the name of our custom attribute and the unique ID of this bronze plan. And so I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come back to Webflow to my bronze plan button. All right, I'm going to come to settings. I'm going to scroll down to custom attributes. Now you can see I already have one custom attribute on this button. Again, I kind of skipped over that for this video because it's going to be a long one. But again, this is in previous videos where I show you kind of the basic membership setup. All this is going to do is essentially launch a sign-up modal to the member when they're signing up and when they click that button. So make sure you have that custom attribute on there already. But then I'm going to add a second one. And again, it's going to be data ms price add attribute from right here. And then I'm just going to attach my unique bronze plan ID to that attribute as well. All right, so now when I click this bronze button, I get a sign up modal that pops up. And when I go sign up and I enter my email and hit sign up, I am then brought to the bronze plan to pay $10 and get 20 tokens. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here on my silver button. Again, I have already my sign up modal attribute on there. But now I'm going to come back to Memberstack, go to my silver plan, install and publish. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add another custom attribute with the unique silver attribute here. And so now when somebody clicks that silver plan, they go pay $20 for 50 tokens. And then last but not least, I'm going to do the same thing here on my gold plan. I already have my sign up attribute there. Come back to Memberstack, go to my gold plan, install and publish, data MS price add attribute with a unique gold ID. Okay, cool. So that's looking good. Now I also need to go add these exact same attributes to my buy credits buttons on this page. I'm going to add the exact same ones to these 3 buttons. I'm not going to show you this just to speed up the video. But anywhere you have pricing buttons on your website, you want to make sure that they are linked to your Memberstack plans via the use of these custom attributes. Okay, now step number 4 is I'm just going to come to my live site now. I've just published it after all those changes we just made. And I just want to actually test that these buttons are working and create a test member. All right, so I'm just going to choose this bronze plan. And here's that sign up modal I was talking about. I'm going to make a fake member here. My password's just going to be 123456789. And I'm going to hit sign up. Okay, and that will redirect me to Stripe. It'll give me a fake Stripe test card here because we're in test mode. And this will be where I pay $10 to join the bronze plan. All right. And so I'm just going to put in my fake credit card details here. Again, this is sadly just fake information that we can't use in real life, but it's nice that Memberstack gives us this to use with Stripe. I'm going to hit pay. All right. And so Stripe kind of processes the payment. And now if I come back to Memberstack and I hit refresh, you can see I now have a test member on the bronze plan, and everything's looking good. All right, cool. Now the next thing I want to do here is I want to actually click that test member, and I want to come down to metadata over here on the profile settings tab, and I want to add some metadata. Now, what is metadata? Essentially what metadata is just a way for us to attach additional uneditable information to each member. Okay, and so what we're going to use this metadata field for is to actually keep track of the number of tokens that each member currently has. Again, the member themselves can never get in here and edit this, and so this is why it's a perfect place to store their current token count in Memberstack. Okay, the other cool thing is we can pull this metadata in later on in the video in make.com. All right, and so that's why this is the perfect spot to put our token tracker, essentially. All right, so I'm gonna hit add metadata, and then I'm just gonna, create a new key here, new metadata key, and I'm gonna call it credits. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it credits, and I'm just gonna make up a fake value. Again, we just joined the bronze plan, so we should have 20 tokens or 20 credits right now. And so I'm just gonna type this in manually right now. We'll set all this up automatically later, but just for now, just so we have some data in here that we can pull in, I'm just going to set this to 20 right now. Okay, I'm going to hit save, and you can see I've got attached to this member 20 credits in my metadata field. All right, that's all I need you to do for now. Okay, step number 5 is we need to come back into Memberstack, and we need to give our membership site a little bit of logic. Okay, and we're going to do that by setting something called redirects. So I'm going to come to plans, come to default settings, and then I just want to essentially tell Memberstack where to send our member when they do certain things on the site. So for example, when somebody signs up or purchases a plan, where are they brought to on our website after a successful Stripe payment? Well, in our example, we want them to be brought to the dashboard. Okay, so we want them to be brought right here when they log in or sign up. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to Webflow. I'm going to go to my dashboard page, and then you can click this little gear here, and grab the slug. Okay, so whatever page you want to send your user to when they sign up, go grab the slug, and then in Memberstack, we're just going to come here and paste that slug in. Okay, so when they sign up, they're brought to the dashboard. When they log in, they're brought to the dashboard. When they log out, well, I want them to be brought to my home token system page or my landing page, this page right here. Okay, and so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go grab the slug, and back in Memberstack on logout, that's where I want them brought. Okay, so now we're just building the logic of our membership site. Okay, step number 6 is very important. Step number 6 is we need to actually attach our Stripe account to Memberstack. That way we can process payments. So what we're going to do is from inside Memberstack, we're going to come down to settings, and then I want you to come down to Stripe settings, and then there's going to be a button here. If you've never connected Stripe to Memberstack, I need you to do that right now. It'll just say connect account or something. And if you don't have a Stripe account, you're going to have to set one up, and it takes a few minutes. You got to put in like your address, I think your social security number, all that good stuff. You need to create a Stripe account essentially. I'm not going to show you how to do it. I've already connected mine. Once you've set up your Stripe account, your screen should look just like mine, and your Memberstack and Stripe account are linked. Okay, so that'll be good. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to actually come to Stripe, all right? And from our homepage here, we're going to turn on test mode, all right? And this is just going to let us build essentially this back end without actually collecting real payments. Okay, so turn on test mode. When you actually launch your site, you're going to want to turn this off and do this for real. But for now, just turn on test mode. Then come to Developers, API Keys. And we're going to scroll down to this Create Restricted Key button right here. And we need to create a restricted test API key. And this is what we're going to use to link make.com in the next step to our Stripe account here. Okay. So you're going to hit Create Restricted Key. Give your key a name. I'm just going to call mine test API key. And then you want to switch all of your permissions out here to the right, all the way down the page to the right permission. Okay, so you just want to change all your permissions to right permission. And this is essentially just going to give us all the information we need in make.com to build out our automation here in a couple steps. All right, so all of these all the way down, switch them as far to the right as you can. And then we're going to create key. All right, and then you can see we have a new test API key that we have down here we could use. All right. Okay, step number 7 is we're going to actually build out the backend now for our token system. And we're going to do this all in make.com. Now, if you're watching this video, this is probably the reason that you're watching the video. It's also probably going to be the most technical part of the video. So I'm going to try and break this down as simply as I can for you guys. But if at any point you're lost or confused or just can't figure out what to do on your end, or you're trying to build something slightly different than what I'm showing on my screen, I will have my website, memberify.io, linked down in the description below for you. Get in contact with me, all right? I would love to work with you and help you build whatever token system or whatever membership site you're trying to build out. If you think it's impossible, it probably isn't, and I think we could figure it out together. So get down in the description below, go click that link, and just drop me a little query. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and potentially we could work together to build out whatever beautiful project you're trying to get across the finish line. All right. Anyways, let's hop back into the tutorial. So I've created a new scenario here in make.com, and I'm just going to call this our add credits token system scenario. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in our trigger module, which is going to be a Stripe module, and it's going to be this watch events module. Okay. And I'm going to set up a new webhook. All right. And it's just going to be called test Stripe webhook. All right. And I'm going to add a Stripe connection. Okay. And my connection type is going to be a Stripe API key. And it's going to be a restricted API key. All right. I'm going to give this a name as well. And then I'm going to go grab my restricted test API key that we just made. So this test API key down here. I'm just going to go copy this, come back to make. I'm going to drop this in. This is essentially just linking our Stripe account to our make.com account. All right, so that took. I'm going to come to group. I'm going to go to charge, and then I'm going to do charge succeeded. Okay, so essentially what we have just connected here is a webhook that is going to look and search Stripe for any successful payment. And every time it finds one, it's going to launch this automation. It's going to trigger it, right? So anytime somebody on our Webflow site purchases credits, we're going to launch this automation. So I'm going to hit save. And it says, okay, we attach this webhook for you automatically. We are good to go. All right, so I'm going to hit OK. All right, now the next thing I want to do is I want to actually add in a second Stripe module. And this is going to be our retrieve a customer module. Make sure you are connected to the right Stripe account. And then we're going to pull in the customer ID of the person who just completed the successful charge. All right, and so I'm going to pull in this customer field right here. All right, and I'm just going to choose select all. I want to pull in all this information for that customer, and I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run this, and I just want to make sure that this is working. Are we triggering our Stripe payment every time we buy credits on our Webflow site, and are we retrieving additional customer data? So I'm just going to come to my Webflow site, and I'm just going to buy 20 more tokens here. I'm going to spend 10 more bucks, and we'll just use my Stripe test checkout here. We'll just make sure that this trigger is working and make. So we'll hit pay. We'll come to make, and we'll see if this thing fires. Okay, good. So it's detecting successful charges. You can see I just spent 10 bucks or 1,000 pennies. You can see the customer ID that just bought it. Perfect. And then I can get additional information for that customer here. Okay, so I can get email, a bunch of different metadata, all sorts of good stuff. Okay, so that's looking good. Now what I'm going to do is, just so we don't have to keep fake buying plans every time to test the scenario, I'm just going to unlink this for now. And I'm just going to come over here and hard code this customer ID in. That way I don't have to just continually buy fake credits here to test this out. So I'm just going to paste in my customer ID here. Just like that. Okay. So we're good to go now. So I'll reattach this back at the end, but for now, I don't want to do that every time. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop in a Memberstack module, and it's going to be get a member. And so what we need to do now is essentially pull in some Memberstack information, specifically that metadata field that we created in Memberstack back here. We need to pull this credits field in to make.com. And to do that, we're going to drop in a Memberstack, get a member module, link to your Memberstack account, and then we're going to pull in the member ID from our second Stripe module here. Okay, so this is why we dropped in that second Stripe module, because you can see we have a field here that we're passing in from Memberstack called MS Member ID. All right, and that's our Memberstack member ID that we're getting now out of Stripe via Memberstack. Okay, and so you just want to map that there. And so now you can see when we run this that we actually can now get the metadata field out of Memberstack, that credits field. Okay, so now we can work with our 20 credits here from Memberstack. Okay, cool. So that's looking good. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to set some variables. All right, and so I'm going to drop in a tool module, set multiple variables. And essentially what we're going to do here is we're going to set the price of each plan and then the amount of tokens or credits you get on each plan, and we're going to store them as variables so that we can reference those amounts later. And if we ever change the price of our plans or the amount of credits you get when you buy those plans, we just have to come here to our variable module, change it in one spot, and then it will flow through to the rest of our automation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add 6 different variables. The first one is going to be our bronze price variable. All right. And our bronze price, if you remember back in Webflow, is 10 bucks. Our silver is 20 and our gold is 30. Now, something very important to call out here is when we are pulling charges out of Stripe, Stripe reports all of those charges in cents or pennies. Okay, so any amount that we want to set here as our bronze price, we should multiply by 100. So essentially, if our bronze price is $10, well, in Stripe, that's going to be 1,000 pennies. Okay, so really here for our bronze price variable, I want to set this as $10 or 1,000 pennies. All right, and this will make sense in a second. Then I'm going to add a second variable called silver price, and it's going to be the same thing. It's $20 or 2,000 pennies. And then gold price, which is $30 or 3,000 pennies. Okay. And then we're going to add a bronze token variable. And remember, we are getting 20 tokens for the bronze plan, 50 for silver, and 100 for gold. All right. And so I'm just going to put those in here. So when you join the bronze plan, you get 20 tokens. When you join the silver plan, you get 50 tokens. And when you join the gold plan, you get 100 tokens. Okay? And so now we've set and stored our prices and our token amounts for each plan into 6 different variables. And now we can reference those in the rest of our automation. Okay, so I'm gonna hit OK. Okay, the next thing I wanna do is I wanna drop in a router. All right, and we're gonna give 3 different routes for this router for our 3 different plans. So this top path is what we're going to use to add 20 tokens when somebody pays $10 and joins the bronze plan. This middle path we're going to use to add 50 tokens when somebody pays $20 and joins the silver plan. And this bottom path we're going to use to add 100 tokens to a Memberstack member when they pay $30 and join the gold plan. Okay? And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to build one of these routes out first, and then we can copy and paste it down for the silver and the gold path, because that'll just be easier. Okay, so let's do this top path first. All right, so we're going to set up a filter, and it's going to be, when someone buys bronze. Okay, so when somebody buys the bronze plan, we want them to actually get routed up here. Now, what I'm going to have to do before we set this up, I just remembered, is I'm going to have to actually reattach this first Stripe module because I'm going to need some of the information from it here. So I'm going to reattach that real fast. Okay, and so now I'll come back to my filter, and now I can say that when the amount that we triggered in Stripe, okay, so somebody bought a plan and it was an amount of 1,000 pennies or $10. Okay, so when we see that this amount field right here equals 1,000, or put another way, equals our bronze price variable of 1,000, okay, and it equals that numerically. Well, when that Stripe amount equals 1,000 pennies, then we're going to launch them up the top path. Now, even a little more confusingly, we're going to add a second router. All right, and this router is going to have 2 paths. Okay, so remember, we're on the bronze path. Somebody just paid $10 to get 20 tokens. Now, there's 2 paths in this path. The first subpath is if somebody has just bought tokens for the first time. So if they have 0 tokens and now they're buying 20 tokens, well, we want to update their token count to 20, and we also want to add them to a free plan. Okay, remember that free plan back here in Memberstack is the has credits free plan, which we're going to use for conditional visibility a little later on in the video. Okay, so again, back to make. When we detect a Stripe payment worth 1,000 pennies, we're going to shoot up to the bronze path. If it's the first time somebody has bought a token, or another way to say that is if credit count is 0, all right, and so we can actually map this metadata field here out of Memberstack. So if their credit field equals numerically 0, or that credit field just doesn't exist, so essentially if they don't have any credits, well, then we're going to update a member with this member ID, and we're going to update their credits key in the metadata field to our bronze token variable. All right. And we're also going to add them to a free plan. So we're going to add a free plan to a member. And we're going to map this. And again, you want to map to the correct member ID. And then I want to go grab my free plan, has credits plan that we set up in the, I think, first or second step. Install and publish, and then go grab that unique plan ID right here. And we're going to add that, just like that, to that member, okay? So again, when somebody pays 1,000 pennies or $10, we're going to route them up here. If they currently don't have any credits, so if their metadata credits field is 0, then all we're going to do is we're going to set their metadata credits field to 20. Now they have 20 tokens. That's what they just bought. And we're also going to add them to that free plan because now they have credits. If they have more than 0 credits, essentially if their number of credits is more than 0, they already have credits, then we just need to update the number of credits. They're already on the free plan. And so to do that, we're going to set up another filter, if have credits already. So essentially, if our metadata credits field is greater than 0, well, then we're just going to update the member with that member ID. And we're going to update their metadata credits field with a little bit of math. We're going to do sum. And let me find that. Where are you? Sum. And then all we're going to do is we're going to sum up their metadata credits with the number of bronze tokens that they just bought. Okay? So I'll let you look at that for a second. Remember, they already have credits. And so that member ID, whatever amount of credits they have, let's say they have 100 credits currently in Memberstack. They have 100 credits. Well, perfect. We're just going to add 20 more to that amount for a total of 120. And we're going to set that credits metadata key field to 120. Okay. And remember, the reason that we're storing all these amounts in these purple variable fields is because if we ever want to change the bronze plan from maybe 20 credits to 50 credits, you can just do that right here once, and it will just flow through the rest of the automation instead of having to do it all in each of these little modules separately. Okay? So I'll say it one more time out loud, just so hopefully you are understanding what I'm doing here. When we trigger a Stripe automation and we see that the amount is worth 1,000 pennies or $10, we know somebody is joining the bronze plan and just bought 20 tokens or 20 credits. Okay? If it's their first time buying tokens, aka if their token count is 0, then we're just going to set their token amount, their metadata credits field, to 20. They'll have 20 tokens, and we're going to add them to that free plan. If they already have tokens and they're buying 20 more tokens, well, then all we're going to do is set their metadata credits field to their current amount plus 20 more. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this and then paste it. And I'm just going to link it up here. Just like that. One time. And I'm going to paste it again. And I'm going to do the same thing down here on my gold path. Delete this. Okay, I'm just going to align this so it looks better. All right, and now all I have to do is just change my variables and my filters, okay? So bronze is good. Let's do silver. So when somebody buys silver, or when that Stripe amount is 2,000, we're going to come down this path, right? If the credit count is 0, well, we're going to set the number of credits to the silver amount, or 50 tokens. And we're going to add them to that free plan. Okay, so that's good. If they already have credits, then we're going to just add 50 credits, or using that silver token variable, to their current number of credits in that metadata field. All right, so now silver is good. Now let's do gold. So when by gold, again, when that stripe amount equals 3,000 pennies, or $30, we're going to come down this branch. And again, if their credit amount is 0, then we're just going to set the number of tokens they have to gold token variable, or 100 tokens. We're going to add them to a free plan. If they already have credits, well, then you've guessed it, we're just going to add 100 tokens to their current credit count in that metadata field. Okay? And so that is that. I'm going to hit save. And this should work now. So let's test this out. I want to make sure everything's working here. So let's hit run. I'm going to come back to my website, and I'm just going to add some more tokens. So before I do this, let's come into Memberstack. Let's see how many tokens I currently have. All right, so I currently have 20 tokens. So I'm going to join the silver plan and add 50 more tokens. So by the time I'm done with this, I should have 70 tokens. I have 20, and I'm about to add 50 more. So I'm going to hit get started. I'm going to go do a fake Stripe checkout again. I'm adding 50 tokens on the silver plan for 20 bucks. I'm going to hit pay. I'm going to go watch this in make. Okay. We picked it up, and it looks like we went down this path right here, which looks good. So we went down our silver path, we bought silver, and we already had credits. So I should have just updated my credit count, essentially 20 plus 50. So if I come to Memberstack now, you can see, perfect, my metadata credits field is now 70. So that's looking good. Now let's do one last test here, and let's go buy some gold tokens. And so I've got 70. We're about to add 100 more. Just want to make sure this is working before we go on. So again, some fake stuff here. I'm going to hit, let me make sure this is running. And I'm going to hit pay. And then let's see, make sure we go down the gold path here. Okay, good. Looks like we went down the gold path. To our metadata field, we'll come look. Okay, cool. Now we got 170 credits. Okay, so the addition of our tokens in our token system is working, right? So how we're able to add tokens, that infrastructure is all built out. That's step number 7. Now guys, I know I said this at the beginning of the video, but all of the links to all these different tools, Webflow, Memberstack, Stripe, Make.com, will be down in the description below. If you want to get started and sign up, go click those links down there. It'll help me out, and I really appreciate it. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so step number 8 is we now need to build out the infrastructure for how we can spend credits and subtract credits from our members. Okay, so we just built out how we can add credits. Now we need to build out the opposite. How do we spend them? Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to save this, back out, and I'm going to go create a new scenario. And this one we're going to be calling, spend credits, generate blog posts, basically. Okay. And so how we're going to have this set up is, if I go back to my dashboard page, essentially what we're going to do is anytime somebody wants to generate a blog, they're going to type in their name, their email, a title of the post, how many of those tokens they want to spend, or how many blog posts they want to write. And then they're going to submit a form. Okay, so they're going to submit a form. And when they submit that form, that is what we want to use as our trigger to spend credits and generate those blog posts. Okay, so in order to ensure that our form is going to serve as our trigger in Make, we need to set up a webhook. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to drop in a webhook here. All right, and it's going to be a custom webhook. And I'm going to hit add. I'm going to give it a name. You know, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call mine test. I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to give me this little URL here, this webhook URL. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come back to Webflow, to my dashboard page. And I'm going to come to the form that I'm using to generate tweets. Okay, and so I'm going to choose my form div. And I'm going to come to settings. I'm going to scroll down to this action field. And I'm going to paste in my webhook URL there. Okay, essentially we're just tying this form to Make. Okay, so every time I submit this form to generate a blog, we'll fire this trigger over here in Make. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And that's that. Now, very, very importantly, whatever form you're using to generate whatever content you're generating, okay, whatever you're using to trigger your webhook in make.com, you're going to want to have a member ID field. And essentially what I mean by that is I want you to add a member ID field, and to that input field, I want you to add a custom attribute called data MS member with a value of ID. Okay. And then once you have that, we can hide it. Okay. And we want to hide it because we don't really want to see this ever, but we need it to be attached to our form, because when we submit that form and when we capture that form submission with our webhook here in Make, I need to have the member ID of the person that is signed in and submitting that form. I'll show you what this all means here in like 2 minutes, but make sure you have a member ID field in your form with a data MS member ID custom attribute attached to it. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to publish this now, and I'm going to go refresh my dashboard page. You can see now that I'm pulling in my actual member ID for me. Okay, and it's just being fed into this form here. All right, so anytime I submit this form, this member ID is going to pass through to my webhook, and then I can use that later on in my automation, which is what we're going to have to do. All right. And so what I can do now is I can actually come back into Webflow and I can hide this field. I can hide it. It's still there. It'll still be published and sent to Make every time I submit this form, but now you can't see it. You don't want to see that. You know, it means nothing to somebody using your site. So I'm going to come refresh this now. Now you can see it's gone, but if I run my webhook here and I submit a little fake blog generator, I'm going to hit submit. I'm going to come to Make. You can see our webhook fired. Okay. And now you can see that we have my name, my email, the name of the blog I want to write. I want 2 of them written. And very importantly, I have this member ID field as well, hidden in the background, but still being submitted and sent to this webhook for me to use. Okay. So it's very important. Okay. So now that our webhook is set up and we're passing that member ID out of Memberstack through Webflow to our webhook in Make, well, now we can pull in some information from Memberstack. Okay. So I'm going to get a member. Again, connect to your Memberstack ID. Your member ID is going to be your hidden member ID field from that form. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And now, when I run this and I submit another form, just as a test, well, now you can see that because I'm passing in that member ID, now I can get all the information I need out of Memberstack, specifically this credits field, out of that metadata item. Okay. So that is looking really good now. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to set another variable. All right. And this variable we're going to use to basically track our current credit amount. All right. So I'm going to do current credits. All right, and I'm going to set this variable to the number of credits I currently have, which is 170 credits. Remember, I bought bronze, silver, and gold, and I've got 170 credits. And I just requested to create 2 blog posts or use 2 credits essentially, okay? And so I'm just going to set up a little formula here, subtract 2. All right, and so now I'm going to set a variable called current credits to 170 minus 2 requested blog posts. All right, so my current credit variable should be 168. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and now the reason we do that is because now we're going to set up some conditional logic here based on the number of credits that you currently have when you make your request. So I'm going to drop in a router. And the router is going to have 3 different routes. Okay. Okay, so this first route we're going to use to check to make sure you have enough credits. Okay, so what we're going to say is if your current credit amount is less than 0, or you don't have enough credits to generate 2 blog posts, then we're going to redirect you to an error page and say, hey, you don't have enough credits for this. Do you want to buy more? Okay. And so what we're going to do for that is, if not enough credits will be our filter. And what we'll say is, if current credits is numerically less than 0, then we're going to redirect you. And we're going to do a redirect by using a webhook. And we're going to give it a status of 302. And we're going to add some custom headers. The key is going to be location, and the value is going to be the URL of the error page that we're going to send you to. In our case, that is going to be our error page, which we have right here, okay? And so I'm just going to copy this URL. I'm going to drop that into my value field right here, okay? So status of 302, key of location, value of the URL that you want them to redirect to when they don't have enough tokens. I'm going to hit OK. All right, so if their current credit count is less than 0, which means they're overspending their credits, we're going to redirect them. If their current credit count is 0, as in they're spending all of their credits, so they had 10 and they generated 10 blog posts, so they will have 0 left. Well, that's fine. We're going to generate them 10 blog posts, but we need to remove them from that has credits plan. Okay, and so that's why we need this other route here. So if current credits equals 0, then we're going to update a member, and we're going to update this member right here, and we're going to update their credits metadata to 0 because now they have 0 tokens. And then we're going to remove them from a free plan. So we're going to drop in a Memberstack, remove a free plan from this member right here. And again, we're just going to go copy in that plan unique ID or has credits free plan membership ID right here. And then we're going to redirect them to the success page. So they had 10 credits. They generated 10 blog posts. They have 0 credits now, which means we remove them from that free plan, but we successfully generate them tokens. And so what we're going to do here is webhooks, status of 302, advanced settings, custom header. Again, key is location, and then value is going to be our success page, which looks like this. Okay, so I've just got a little Lottie file here, and that's where we're going to redirect them to. So I'm going to go paste that in right there. Okay. And then last but not least, if their current credit count is more than 0, if they still have credits. All right, so if credit count is greater than 0, well, then all we want to do is update their credit count. Okay, we don't have to remove them from our free plan. So we're going to update a member. Which member? Well, this member with metadata of credits. And the amount we're going to do is current credits. And so now their credit amount in that metadata field will just equal their current credits variable, which again is their current credits minus the requested blog posts. That was a mouthful. All right. And then we're going to hit OK. And then again, we're just going to redirect them to that success page. All right. I'm going to hit save. Okay. So let's test this out. So I'm going to hit run. Okay. So if I come to Memberstack, we can see I currently have 170 credits. Okay. So I can generate 170 blog posts. So let's test out what happens if I do one. So I just want to make one blog. Okay, we'll make sure this is running, and I'm going to hit generate blog post. You can see I get redirected to the success page, and we went down this bottom path. Okay, so my current credit count was 170 minus 1, or 169, and that was greater than 0. And so I updated my member to 169. Tokens, and then I redirected to that success page. You can see I'm still just kind of chugging along there. Okay, so I come to Memberstack. You can see my credits are now 169. Good. Next, let's test this middle path. So I'm going to run this again, and this time I want to generate 169 blog posts. So let's see what happens there. So 169, so this should still run because I have enough, but it should remove me from this free plan. So you can see that right now I'm on this free has credits plan. But when I use all of my tokens, I should be removed from that and my token should go down to 0. So let's see what happens. So 169, I have 169 credits. I'm gonna hit generate. I'm brought to the success page. You can see back in make, we went down this middle path. So if I come to Memberstack, you can see now as well that my plans, I'm not on that free plan anymore, which is good. And if I come to metadata, I have 0 credits. Okay, so the last thing I want to test is, now that I have 0 credits, what happens if I try and spend 1 or 2? You know, I have 0. I shouldn't be able to generate any blog posts right now. And so if I hit generate blog, I'm brought to my error page, and you can see in make, I went up this error path. That's because I requested more blog posts than I have credits for. Okay, so that's looking good. Now, what you want to do here is in this workflow, I'm not going to show you in this video how to do this, but this is where you would want to actually set up your actual deliverable. So for example, if I'm generating blog posts here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in my actual blog post writing scenario or automation, okay? So I'll show you just a quick one here, just to, you know, maybe give you an idea. But I'm just going to drop in an open AI module, and I'm going to say, you know, write me, and then I'm going to pull in the field, the variable field of how many I want blog posts about this topic. And I'm going to pull in my blog keywords field, or that Jordan Love is awesome field, you know, and then, you know, this is where I'm going to set this up. Okay. And then I probably run that, and then maybe I email it to myself. I drop in a Gmail module, and I email the result to myself. Okay. So this is where you want to set that up. I'm going to set it up here just so we have a full functioning system, but attach whatever, you know, deliverable automation you have at the end of both of these branches. Okay, so I've dropped in my blog post generator modules at the end of both of these branches. So if I have 0 credits, I'm going to update that member to 0 credits. I'm going to remove them from the free plan. I'm going to redirect them to the success page. Then I'm going to write their blog post based on their form submission back here on my dashboard. and I'm going to email that to the email that they submitted as well. Same thing here. If they have more than 0 credits, I'm going to update their credit count, redirect them to the success, and I'm going to write their blog post and then email it to them. All right, guys, I know that building these token systems out can get really, really tricky, especially if you're trying to build something that's not identical to what I'm building here. So if you're having trouble, I will have a link to my Webflow membership agency, Memberify, down in the description below. Go to my site, submit a contact form, tell me about the problem that you're having. I know together we could figure it out, and I'd love to work with you to get the project over the finish line. So go to Memberify, hit me up, and let's work together. All right, let's get back to the video. All right, guys, we're getting close. We're in step 9. We're coming down the back stretch here. We just got to clean this up and give it the functionality that we really need to get this thing over the finish line. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add this dynamic credit amount wherever I need it on my website. So I want to be able to see how many credits I have when I'm logged in. Okay, so I want to pull that in here. I have a little thing down here that says you have 0 credits left, and also on my profile kind of nav bar here, I want to update my credits there. So how do I do this? Well, I'm going to come to Webflow, and I'm going to just do a little text span here on my credits field, or where I have my numbers, and I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to drop in a custom attribute called MS Code Member Meta, and the value will be the name of the metadata field that you set earlier. We've been using credits, okay? So you want to set that there, and you want to set that on all of the text spans with your numbers around your site. So I have one here as well. Same thing, MS Code Member Meta Credits. And I also have one on my nav bar drop down here, which you can see is right here, MS Code Member Meta Credits, okay? So you want to drop that in. And then in order to get this active, in order to link this to Memberstack, we need to drop in some custom code to the pages on our website. And so I'm going to have this custom code linked down below. This is called a member script. Memberstack comes up with a bunch of these custom code scripts that we can use. And I'll link you to their tutorial, and you can just copy and paste their snippet. But then what we're going to do is we're just going to go to all the pages on our site. So we're going to start with this landing page up here. We're going to go to settings, and we're going to come down to body, and we're just going to paste in this code here just like that. We're going to hit save. We're going to do the same thing on dashboard. Come down to body, paste it in, hit save, buy credits, paste it in, success, paste it in, error, paste it in, and then settings, paste it in, okay? And that's that. Okay, the next thing we need to do, step number 10, is we need to come to our success page, and we need to just drop in another piece of custom code, okay? And essentially what we're doing here is when somebody generates their blog post successfully, we bring them here, we get that cool little Lottie animation that just kills a little bit of time. But what we need to do is just buy our system, buy our automation here in Make, just a couple seconds to essentially make all these changes, update the token count in Memberstack in our metadata field, and then redirect them back to the dashboard basically. So we're just killing a couple seconds here to give our automation time to run. So we're going to come to our page settings here. We're going to come down to body, and under that metadata script we just added, we're going to paste in another one. All right, and again, I will also have this one linked down below in the description. And this essentially is just going to give a delayed redirect back to the dashboard page, okay? And so what you want to do is whatever page you want to redirect to, in this case, I'm redirecting to my dashboard page. You want to put it in right there, all right? And then right here is going to be the delay in milliseconds that you want it to hold, essentially, until it redirects to the dashboard. All right, so I'm doing 8,000 milliseconds or 8 seconds. You can make this shorter, you can make it longer. I think 8 is kind of nice. So after 8 seconds, our make.com automation will be done. You don't need as long as 8 seconds. I just think it's nice. But after 8 seconds, we will redirect the user back to the dashboard, and their token count will be updated and all that good stuff. All right, so we're going to hit save. Okay, and then the last step we need to do is we're going to come to our dashboard page, and I want to show you what we're now able to do since we've been so hyper focused on adding and removing people from that free has credits plan. Okay, why have we been doing that? We haven't really done anything with that yet. Why are we doing all that crazy stuff in make.com? Well, what we're going to do is, and you can get very advanced with this, but I'll just show you a quick example is, I want to conditionally show these buttons to our user based on whether or not they have tokens or not. Okay, so if somebody comes to this dashboard page and they've spent all their tokens, they have 0 tokens left. I don't want them to be able to even hit this generate blog post button. I want them to not see the blue button. I want them to see a gray button that says buy more credits and links them back to the pricing page. Okay. If they have credits, perfect. I don't need them to see this gray button. I just want them to be able to generate blog posts with this blue button. So because we are adding and removing people from that free has credits plan, all right, every time we run our scenario, we're able to actually implement some of this conditional functionality or visibility. The way we're going to do that is we're going to add a custom attribute to these buttons. Okay, so to the blue button, we're going to click it. We're going to come to settings. We're going to add a custom attribute called data-ms-content, value of free-plans. Okay, and all that's saying is that if you're on a free plan, you can see that button. So if you're on the has credits free plan, you can see the button. Alternatively, we're going to choose this gray button here, which we have as a link block in our form. We're going to add a custom attribute, data-ms-content, free-plans, okay? So make sure you add in that exclamation point. And that's essentially saying, if you're not on a free plan, you can see this button. And that's how we're going to give these buttons that conditional visibility. All right, so now I'm going to publish this, and we're going to test the whole system out. All right, so I'm just going to come to my Webflow landing page here, and I'm going to just sign up for the bronze plan. Now I've cleared out all of my test members in Memberstack, so we have a fresh slate here for our test. All right, so I'm going to buy 20 credits. Okay, password's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll hit sign up. Do my fake card here. And I'm going to hit pay. And I should be redirected to my dashboard page, which I am. You can see my name is pulling in dynamically because I've set that custom attribute on both of those text spans. You can also see I have 20 credits. Okay, so I just bought 20 credits. And that is looking good. I can come to this little menu up here. I can also see my name and my email, which are pulling in from those custom attributes. You can also see my number of credits up here. Okay, so that's looking good. All right, let's generate a little blog post here. Okay, so I'm pulling in my name and my email automatically. The title of my blog post is going to be Jordan Love is going to be great. And I want one blog post. Okay, I'm going to hit generate and let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm redirected to my success page. I'll hold here for 8 seconds. Make.com is running right now. Okay, it's subtracting credits from me. It's generating my blog posts, all that good stuff. You can see now I have 19 credits. Good. All right, and then if I check my email right now, I should be getting my blog post sent to me at some point. And here we go. So here's our super ugly blog post. Obviously, you want to make this better, but you can see that this is working. So I just got one blog post right here out of OpenAI. So that's super ugly, but you get the point. All right, cool. So that's working. I'll come back to dashboard now. And let's see. This time I want to write one. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers isn't good anymore. All right. And I want to write 20 blog posts. Yeah, let's write 20. I only have 19 credits, but I want to write 20 blog posts about it. I'm going to hit generate. And okay, I'm brought to an error page. Okay, I don't have enough credits for that. Shoot. Let me buy more credits. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to buy 50 more credits. And I'm going to do my Stripe fake test account here. And so I have 19. I'm buying 50 more. And so when I sign up, I should have 69 tokens. Perfect. So I have 69 credits, and you can see it updates everywhere. Nice. Okay, now I don't want to generate 69 blog posts here about how Aaron Rodgers isn't good anymore. So I'm going to show you this since you're going to be managing your website. What you can do, and only you can do as the owner of this Memberstack account, is you can actually come in here and update the number of credits somebody has. So if they ever want a refund or you just got to manually override something, I can come right in here and I can change this just like that to 3, and now I have 3 credits. Again, the member can never access that metadata field, only you can. And so now when I come and refresh, you can see I have 3 credits, and that we can work with. So I want to do, Aaron Rodgers isn't good anymore, and I want to make 3 blog posts. Okay, so I'm going to spend all my credits, which is fine, but that'll take me down to 0 credits, and this blue button should disappear, and that gray buy more credits button should appear. So I'm going to hit generate. Success. Okay, so it's generating 3 blog posts for me right now. I'll send it to my email when it's done. I'll hold here for 8 seconds, and now I'm back to the dashboard page. You can see I have 0 credits now, and now I can't even generate blog posts anymore because I have this super ugly gray buy more credits button that links back to my pricing page. And so I can't even submit this form right now to generate any blogs. And so that is working perfectly. Again, my credit system all over my site says 0. And that's it, guys. That is how you build a token system in Webflow. If you guys like this video, go down and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing. That would be awesome. If you guys have any questions, get down in the comments and let me know as soon as you can. I know there's a lot of meat to chew on there, and I'm expecting questions from you guys. So get down there and let me know what you're running into, and I'll help you out as best as I can. Thank you guys so much for being here and for all the support. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.